And then we'll.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Carly,
And I'm Mara.
and welcome back to the Central Michigan Valorant.
Yeah, so the last two games have not gone super well for CMU. We're obviously hoping for that win, hoping to turn the tides. We won against Miami, Ohio last week. Didn't do super well. really hoping that with all of the experience we've garnered over these past few games, that finally we're able to win on the maps that we've been playing a lot, like Haven and Lotus. Definitely trying to see if we put a little more practice into those maps we don't really focus on, like Abyss we saw last week. The team was not super prepared for it, and I personally thought maybe the spontaneousness of not knowing the map, not knowing where to play could possibly throw off Miami, Ohio, but unfortunately that was not the case. We were able to scuff out a few rounds here and there, but overall didn't do super great, so we're hoping for that to change today.
Yeah, and so far Central Michigan has won 2 games and lost 2 games, so we're hoping that this can get them back into the winning streak, get that number to not be so even.
Right.
And we do have a member of the B team on the team today. Evan, he is subbing in for Dawson, who could not make it here today, unfortunately.
Yep.
So we'll have to see if the team can get along with him well and if they're good together. So
Yeah, definitely. He plays on 2 of the other CMU esports teams, and he was given really short notice. So hopefully he's not burnt out already. Hopefully he still has that energy to keep going, and obviously the collaboration skills to be able to work with a team that maybe he hasn't played with before.
yeah, right before this he was playing Overwatch. So yeah, if you saw that, thank you for also tuning into this. So yeah, it looks like we already have our maps picked for this. So first we're starting off with Sunset, and CMU is going to start on the attack side.
Yeah, so Sunset last time did not go super great. That is one of the games that CMU lost 0-2 to. We didn't see a lot of plays that weren't standard. We saw CMU kind of mimicking the other team a lot when it came to when it came to half switches. There wasn't just anything super going on. There was a few agent picks that were questionable. Really hoping that on Sunset we play Breach, we play Cypher. Spad did awesome on Cypher on Sunset. Even though they lost, he was able to use his util in such a very purposeful way, and really threw Miami, Ohio off on the rounds they did come into a setup. But that is something unfortunate, is they just might not come to this site.
Yeah, and next up for the maps we have Haven, which CMU is also starting on attack for that as well.
Yeah, so CMU has definitely played on Haven a little bit. We're not super strong on it. Hopefully we see some change there. Hopefully we're a little bit more aggressive, as on our Haven maps we have been a little bit more passive, or when we do aggress we have been caught off guard, whether it be with an op or with a lurk. Like, we just haven't been doing super well on that. So hopefully with all the experience we've had on Haven and playing different teams, that we're able to overcome that, maybe learn from that, and maybe do a different team comp, or maybe a different strategy, or maybe play more together.
Yeah. And for the last and the third map, if we make it there, it will be Lotus.
Hopefully we don't have to make it there and CMU wins, but Lotus, also same thing with Haven. We've played it before, and hopefully we learn from that. Hopefully we don't. I would like to see Cypher on this pick instead of CMU, or maybe just a different Sentinel. Deadlock has some value. Maybe that would give it a better hold on C, but hopefully overall we change some things up. I am hoping we don't see the same thing we've seen almost every single game, and Central surprises us and takes the win.
Yeah, and they will be playing defense on that third map if they make it to the third map. We don't know. Hopefully not, but we will see.
Yeah. Lotus is definitely an attack-sided map, so interesting CMU chose that one first.
Yeah, but yeah, we're really excited to see them play, and it's nice to have them play against somebody who, another college that's also from Michigan.
Right.
A little bit more of that rivalry that we're gonna see
definitely
here.
Need to win this one.
Yep. So that will be fun. So I think that they definitely have a lot of strong plays. We've definitely have seen that in their first 2 games. So I'm really hoping that we get to see more of that this game instead of some of the other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping I see BeefStroganoff with a little bit more support, because on those rounds, he can really go off. He can get 3 or 4 kills, but there's 1 person left or 2 people left. And if he just had a little bit more help, maybe an assist, that he could just close out the round on his own based on that aim.
Yeah, it seems like in the past we've seen a lot of the times where the enemy team does something really well, and instead of really adapting, they just keep falling into the same trap. So
Exactly.
I'm really hoping that we can see them adapt and change and be able to get out of that trap this time.
I'd also really like to see the timeouts be called sooner, because you can see CMU down maybe 8 rounds, and it's too far along that there's not much they can do. Even if they get that one win in, like, their economy is suffering. So hopefully we see those timeouts called by Bannable a lot sooner, when you can kind of see the foundation of their play start to crumble.
Yeah, they definitely keep waiting too long to call these timeouts, because by the time they do it, it's so hard to make a comeback at that point. So I am definitely hoping that they do that as well.
Hopefully CMU staying 2 steps ahead, I think, could just win them both maps. They really think about it, really take their time, like maybe try and figure out what the other players are doing. We maybe just don't know what the other team is doing. We just need to lay back. We just need to see what's happening. We don't need to dive head first into it. We've seen a lot of enemy teams. They try and scout out CMU, try to see where they're going, what they're doing, and things like that.
Yeah. And it looks like we are going to start sunset very soon. So, hopefully we get to...
Okay, it looks like a very standard comp, except Spat is maybe hovering Raise.
Yeah,
Looks like Eastern is going for almost the same comp, deciding to switch out Gecko for KO there.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that switch will play out in this map.
Yeah, I definitely, honestly, in my opinion, I think KO might get a lot more value, especially since CMU has Cypher, so they won't have to come into contact with that Cypher if they want to get his trips down and his util down, making for pretty easy execute. So hopefully CMU adapts to that and we play back a little bit.
Looks like they are about to head into their pistol round. It's very iffy with their pistol rounds. They sometimes do well, sometimes do not do well. So I'm really hoping that this is one of the times that they do well.
Yeah, lately it's been really 50-50 instead of us losing every single pistol round. So hopefully we win that 50-50. Looks like Eastern is just trying to make sure that yeah, they're just trying to make sure that everything is set up across
they're
the map.
covering everything, and it looks like Central's kind of leaning a little bit more towards B-ish, but we'll see how that goes.
Looks like they're just playing around with the map. They are making sure that Eastern can't sneak up on them from A.
Yeah, a lot of them are in mid right now, so let's see if they confront anybody.
It'll be interesting to see how they use their util to counter those Cypher trips, because they do have a lot of things. They have Raze's nades, they have Silva's dart, so hopefully we don't lose any CMU players to the util. CMU just making a promotion, but Eastern not super phased by it.
No real deaths yet. It's kind of playing it slow right now, but this could change in a matter of seconds.
They're super aware of that trip, but Eastern isn't able to get anything off of it.
Can't use that.
Looks like Spad's suppressed, so... And it does look like they were able to take out the Cypher and Spad.
Eastern using a flash and a double swing there. CMU looking to play post plant here, but it's almost impossible with Eastern having 5 players alive.
Yeah, only having 3 players left is putting them at a very big disadvantage, so... And, it's just BeefStroganoff left.
They just didn't have enough going there. BeefStroganoff able to get 3, but they just didn't have enough players for that post plant. There wasn't really much they could do there. Ideally, they would get more players of Eastern maybe playing on site and then play off site, but it was just a really hard thing because they were kind of outplayed in mid there with the flash and then the double swing.
Yeah, and again, we keep seeing where BeefStroganoff is left, and he can get those kills, but he never has the teammates to back him on it, so...
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a little too late, and the smoke from Eastern made it super hard to play the post plant there. If they had, maybe Raze's nade would maybe gone a different way.
Here.
CMU being really cautious because Eastern could take almost every fight and win with this gun advantage.
Yep. And I can only guess how challenging it is to have a new member on their team and trying to play with their strengths and weaknesses throughout this.
Yeah, we've never seen a different play like that before, and hopefully they're able to communicate really well. And I think anything could work as long as they communicate to each other and swing just like how they did right there.
And it's a really good play. And it is now a 3v2.
It is a little bit more tipped in CMU's favor with that gun upgrade, but not much to get out of it. It was a pretty good save round. They were able to get 2.
Yeah, they did decently for a save round. I think they definitely had a lot of communication, it seems like, and teamwork in this round. So
Yeah, I really like the call on that swing together. But it looks like CMU is very adamant about going... Oh, never mind. Looks like they're very adamant about going A. I'm glad they're watching behind them. I'm glad we're using the tripwires to make sure that Eastern doesn't sneak up on us or maybe pinch us while we're in the middle of an execute.
Yeah, and it looks like going to A might work out for them since not a lot of Eastern players are there right now.
Yeah, if they pressure together, Eastern won't be able to get any value off of those tripwires because they'll push the Cypher back. I'm really hoping to just see some explosion here out of Spad. Just use both satchels, use the nade on the tripwires, but it looks like they're willing to play a little bit more slow, but might bite them in the foot because Eastern's starting to clear out B main and they don't hear anything.
And they're going full into A.
And they're clearing everything.
They're checking all their corners. Seems like it's going really well. And they're able to plant the spike.
Yeah, and they're actually playing a little bit more spread out than I would expect, which is really nice to see. They have almost every single angle being watched right now with the tripwire and the multiple crossfires on the site. And they're just absolutely slaughtering Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern's already down to 2. This is definitely going in their favor. They're really hitting their angles right now, which is really helping.
Maybe got a little too aggressive, but...
Oh, and now it is officially a 1v1.
Probably means a lot to him. He's really hoping to get this push. He's just almost a bullet off.
Yeah. Evan, the last player standing, the new sub for today, he did pretty well this round.
CMU got a little too aggressive. They were a little too willing to peek the guy who didn't have a bulldog, which isn't that much of a disadvantage from a Vandal.
Yeah, so hopefully they learned from this and are definitely able to improve. I think they definitely had a good start with taking over A, so hopefully they can learn how to keep A a little bit better.
If they had just a little bit more discipline, I could see the round going a little bit differently, but they were just willing to swing after a few fights just on their own.
Camera taken out.
Looks like they're deciding to go to A again.
They're going to be met by 2 Eastern players. Hopefully they can just push Eastern here because he does have an off.
Seems like they're struggling to get into A.
Bannable trying to make a risky play here. Hopefully willing to see that reward.
And just like that, it is only BeefStroganoff yet again.
That was a smart move from Eastern, prioritizing getting that plant off instead of trying to kill the last player. Just not much BeefStroganoff can do here. How do you get 3, not knowing where one of them is?
Standing ahead. There they are. Lotus ready.
And he's able to take out another one.
You see him in these clutch scenarios and you're just like, dang, if he had just one teammate with him, maybe
maybe he could win this. There's only so much he can do by himself. It seems like Eastern was anticipating them going to A a little bit more this time and was a little bit more ready, so didn't quite work out in Central's favor with what they wanted, but They got time. They got time.
They have a lot of time. Maybe might be around the time to call a timeout. I would like to see what they do differently this round instead of just their normal push, because I feel like they were more explosive and pushed into maybe the enemy spawn or pushed more into mid, caught that rotate off guard. Maybe they would be able to have that pick that changes the round, but they're just, it feels like they're so hesitant until they're not.
Take flight.
Looks like they're deciding to split up a little bit more this time, which hopefully this ends up working out for them.
Hopefully they're able to get some more info, but based on that drone, they don't have much to work with. Jay trying to take some space. I mean, looks like that is where they're gonna end. They're taking just too much time here.
Yeah, they're slowly creeping towards A, but it's very slow.
And they're just letting the Easter player get to there, and that just shouldn't have happened.
I'm just glad they're able to get the spike planted at the very least. And Bannable gets flash, and he's not able to do much about that.
Unfortunately, Eastern does know that he's the only player on site right now, and so they're running.
I don't know if Raspberry will even be able to do much with this.
There's almost nothing he can do. He's like camping for Raspberry. Able to get the kill, but just doesn't really matter.
And just like that, Eastern has already won 5 games, so...
Yeah, 5 rounds in a row is kind of devastating, especially for CMU's economy, so I'm just not seeing anything being done differently from them.
Yeah.
They have so many oppressive ults, like they have Gecko, they have Sova, so hopefully they use them this round, and hopefully they're able to get that, and I feel like they're just moving too slow. They're giving Eastern way too much time to discover that, hey, they're not really here. They're probably the other side.
Yeah, it's giving Eastern way too much time to react. And I really hope that if they don't win this round, that they call a timeout or something so that they're able to regroup, because they seem to just not be able to get it right now.
Something that wouldn't even require a timeout, I think, is just leaving Strawberry like lurking A, making noise, putting question marks in Eastern's head so they aren't so comfortable about where they are. I'm liking this aggression from Spad, but it might be misdirected.
He is able to take out 1, but Eastern's able to take out 2 of theirs, so...
Glad to see Bannable wrapping around, because we don't want to see what happened on Pistol Round happen again.
They're using a lot of Gecko's utility, but it doesn't seem to fully be working out.
They need to be prioritizing the spike here, because it's almost defused. Thank goodness.
And Central Michigan is finally able to get their first win.
Yeah, maybe not needing that timeout at all, but that was such better teamwork, especially making Bannable wrap around that enemy team, because Eastern probably didn't expect that not all CMU players were playing main, because that's what they saw Pistol.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're finally trying to change some things up, and it's definitely seeming to work out for them, so hopefully they can keep up this momentum.
I am questioning a little bit why they're choosing to go A instead of B, which did just work. So hopefully they have something in mind that'll make it more favorable to them.
It does look like it might work out, though, because Eastern doesn't have a single person on A yet. So they won't have anybody really depending.
Able to get both here.
And he
Absolutely
is.
does.
That was amazing aim by Bannable, but he is taken out.
And that does... Oh, it does not put a gun in Eastern's hands, because thankfully Raspberry's here to hold down the fort. He's making sure they do not get that gun.
Yes.
Eagle-eyed.
Raspberry cleaning it up.
Oh, he's able to get 2 as well.
That was just absolutely a cakewalk for Central.
This looked so much better than the last 5 games that we saw where they were getting destroyed. They are working so much more as a team, and they just know what each player needs to be doing in this last round, and it was really amazing to see.
Yeah, you definitely saw that personal performance pulling through theirs, but I would like to see a little bit more team performance, because they weren't able to just walk onto site because Eastern didn't have very good weapons. It was already a round tipped in CMU's favor, so it's not a surprise to see that happen, but it is very good for morale.
Yeah, definitely.
CMU is denying Eastern info, so they can't be able to call those rotates so easily.
And I like that they're kind of pushing in a lot faster this time. It's hopefully will work out for them.
Yeah, you're seeing three or more players like peeking the same enemy player. That's really nice to see.
Yeah, seeing them push a lot faster has been working, and they've been playing so slow in the past, and that's what has been causing Eastern to win these rounds. So I hope that pushing is going to help them.
Bannable's decided to back off because of that cipher wall. He knows the locations of Eastern, and he just thought it was a little too risky.
One enemy remaining.
It's not on the bomb. Bannable knows that now, though.
Yep, it is a 1v1.
Bannable pretty confident he's not on it, but unable to close out the round.
That was such a close game.
It's just so dependent on aim, but it shouldn't have been close. CMU got those first 2 opening picks, but Eastern was able to win those 1v1s that Central unfortunately gave them.
Yeah.
And that led to the round ending a little bit more differently than we expected in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah. It just seems like they sometimes are missing those shots that they really need to be able to hit. So.
And they wouldn't even have to hit those shots if they peaked together.
Yeah.
Time to explode.
I've noticed a lot that the beginning of the rounds go really well with CMU, but when they have the advantage, it feels like they don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're working the map super well. Strawberry's getting so much info by just sitting on the other site. They're denying info from Eastern with Bannable smoke. Like, they're putting so many question marks in their head, and you see Eastern isn't comfortable rotating. But as soon as they get those picks, it feels like they get a little too cocky or maybe a little too aggressive.
Definitely. Seems like they're more going towards A again, so let's hope that this works out. It seems like A has not fully been working out for them in the past.
You see right there, CMU was able to stop Eastern's rotate because Bannable was like, I'm going to break this door. No one gets behind. No one gets behind CMU.
Looks like we're having some tech issues, maybe. We can no longer see the game. I don't know about our viewers. Let's see if we can find it. Alright, we are informed that viewers can still see the game, so glad you guys still get to watch. We did get it pulled back up. We can commentate again.
Enemy remaining.
Wasn't able to see the beginning of this round, but it looks like CMU.
Looks like they did a good job. Alright, it seems like they're going into their next round. We apologize for the tech issues. Looks like they're going full B at this time, which looks like it's gonna very much work out in their favor since Eastern has nobody near B.
Yeah, they were not successful on that gamble.
Now they are all trying to quickly rotate to B, so let's see if Central can handle all of them trying to flood in.
I would like to see CMU not go
Deploying
towards
drone.
main. I would like to see them more on site, as you can see Jay and Spad doing right now. They're holding that cross, and it's super powerful as long as it's used right. And Jay still does have his gecko off.
Now our flash. Oh, but they are able to get the pick.
And that's just the power of the crossfire. Like, whatever Jay doesn't get, Spad does.
Chojnacki.
Yeah, and they're able to get it down to just one player, and BeefStroganoff is able to finish it off. They're very close now. 6-4 is not that far off.
Yeah, and Central was able to survive that round with 3 players, thankfully. And they only invested 1 ult, and they have 3 more to go.
Yeah. I definitely feel like the morale is pretty high right now for Central. They are doing excellent with choosing which sites they want to go to, it seems like. They're definitely getting better at anticipating Eastern's moves. So
Right.
I definitely like that they're adapting.
Thankfully, the way they play these rounds, the way they're so spread out, it counters Eastern's ability to use the race ult because they're probably not going to get more than one player because of how spread out they are. And their race is almost never on the same site. Also, it's bad not being able to find anyone. Eastern completely backing off. Thankfully,
Yeah, they're all just in mid. They seem a little bit confused right now, but it looks like they're regrouping. So let's hope that Central can handle that.
looks like Central is willing to take this fight and spawn, which is super nice to see. But hopefully, someone is watching behind them. Mark it.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want anybody creeping up from behind because it's already down to a 3v3.
You see Eastern using all these flash lineups.
Bannable is able to get that pick, but he is now suppressed.
Bannable just needs to play Ring Around the Rosie here because time is on their side. But they were able to get it.
Yep, he's not able to defuse the spike in time, and he's trying to save his util.
Able to get away, but the rest of his team not so lucky.
Last round in the half.
And with the half approaching, they're almost tied up, so let's hope that they can tie it up in this.
Yeah, CMU does have the gun advantage here. You see Eastern, some of them are on almost a half buy, and Central's economy is perfectly fine. So already off the bat, we might be looking at a 6-6 here.
Yeah, and that's just great to see them making this comeback. I mean, they lost the first 5 rounds, but seeing them be able to take all these rounds after, it's so amazing because they're doing so much better.
Yeah, they really did not need that timeout as we thought maybe they did.
Yeah.
And they're just able to read these sites so well because you see no player of Eastern on A once again. CMU just doing super good at picking the right sites every single round.
Yeah, and Eastern is never able to anticipate where they're going.
They're able to get a lot of damage off of that ult zone. Hopefully the gun advantage comes out here for CMU. And it just doesn't.
Oh, well. We will be seeing Eastern going 7-5, but Central can still definitely make a comeback with that score.
Public Central just needs a really strong defense here, and they need to be able to not get so easily
Switching
distracted
sides.
as Eastern did on these defense rounds.
Definitely. I think hopefully with this switch up that we can see more of Central Michigan and see like what they're gonna do for defense. See how they're gonna change it up because
Yeah, I'd really like to see how they play it differently compared to Sunset.
Here.
When they played Sunset last, hopefully we see Raspberry just using util in the best way possible and able to take those tripwires back before they get broken, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think though that Raspberry has been doing pretty well being the sub. I think he's been communicating with his team very well. So it's really nice to see that even though we do have a sub, that he's working well with his team.
Yeah, I think even with Yami here, maybe the rounds wouldn't be that different.
Yeah.
I like to see the double up here from CMU. Together in market, even though they're giving up the site, but they might be able to get 1 or 2 before Eastern are able to finally get on the site.
Yeah, looks like Eastern's playing it a little bit more slow. Looks like Eastern maybe made the call to go over towards A.
And I'm just not sure why. They didn't make a lot of noise. They didn't hear a lot of CMU players, but they're probably banking on the fact that maybe Strawberry heard a few footsteps and more players are towards B. And that is correct. There are only 2 Central players here, so it is the right call, but they're going to be able to confidently rotate because they don't hear anything.
Yeah. Let's see if they can hold down the site or if they'll get taken over. Looks like Jay is just facing so much util. He was not able to handle all 5 of their members.
Yeah, absolutely, but
One enemy remaining.
Eastern once again just able to win those 1v1s and showing off super low. Not sure where the last player is. He's running B.
And he only has 13 seconds to plant. Will he be able to
10
make it in
seconds
time
left.
is the real question.
At some point, Stroganoff's gonna be like, he does not have enough time to plant here, and he's gonna start running.
Alright, it is both Sovas. Let's see who's the better Sova.
Eastern at a very high advantage, especially since their Sova's on full health, light shields,
Yeah.
and Stroganoff has no info.
Yep, and he's only on 21 HP.
He does have his recon dart, but he needs to be able to make those, he needs to.
Oh, he did not
needs
make
to
the shots.
He needs to make the shots line up.
Oh, that was giving me anxiety.
And there's just not much he can do. Just one shot.
He's able to get it. That was amazing. It looks like Central does have the better Sova.
No.
Oh,
And
he's
0.02
not
seconds.
0.02 seconds. He is not. Wow, that is bad right there. He's
That
not
is
able.
so unfortunate. I'm
Yeah.
so surprised to see Eastern. Maybe he didn't have his shock dart, but if Eastern just used their shock dart, their Stroganoff would be gone.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe he was panicking a little bit. You never know. But yeah, that sucks that he was not able to defuse the spike in time.
You see Stroganoff with all of these really good individual plays, and it's just like he really needs one more teammate there,
Uh-huh.
just to back him up, just to support him.
Yeah. Definitely. But that was amazing individual play. And it looks like Eastern is already able to take out 2 of Central's on this round.
Thankfully, they did go out together. They were able to try and play the 2-person angle there, but
Spike
unfortunately,
planted.
their location was given away early into the round, and there was just not much they could do there. They just had to commit to making it.
Last player standing.
The drone almost like a flash there for Bannable.
Yep, and flawless round for Eastern. It did not go that well for Central Michigan this time.
Hopefully, we see CMU winning this round because it is their full buy, and Eastern does have worse weapons, so.
Yeah. We definitely need to see a win because Eastern is already to 9. It's getting pretty close.
I don't know. I'm thinking, would it really be a bad idea to set maybe Stroganoff up for success here? Maybe multiple players just trying to back him up.
Yeah. You can do it individually, yeah. Like if there's other teammates willing to support that, I think that could definitely be good. Raspberry is able to pick off 1.
Thankfully, that spray just lined perfectly up with the Eastern player.
Yeah.
Eastern in a little bit of a frenzy. They're calling to go.
They don't know where they're going. They're all kind of
The spike
running
is
around.
down, and CMU does have eyes on it. Not anymore, but they will soon enough.
It is down to a 3v3. This could definitely go well for Central if they play their cards right.
Eastern having so much info on where the CMU players are right now, though.
Yeah. And they're slowly just getting picked off. They keep exchanging blows.
Eastern running A, but CMU's fully aware.
Spike planted.
They know at least one is on site, so the only question mark is where the other Eastern player is.
Looks like they're deciding to travel together, which I think is a good idea.
Hopefully not getting caught in a spray. Hopefully no collabs happening here. Looks like they might be unaware of a possible player behind them.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oh.
And they are aware.
able to. Jay being able to take out both.
Yeah, the wingman there was absolutely essential, so both players could watch 2 different angles.
Yeah. That definitely went very well for Central. They were able to play their cards just right, and with that teamwork of using wingman was really good. They were able to get out those extra players.
Yeah, unfortunately, CMU not able to fully buy here, and Eastern does have overall gun advantage. So hopefully we see CMU do something a little bit funky, maybe out of the norm, to maybe get that equalizing thing.
Yeah, that Central definitely has to do something differently here if they want to win this round.
Hopefully the different thing is just supporting Beef. Could just win them the round if they just play a little bit more together, maybe uplifting each other a little bit more.
Looks like Eastern's taking it more slow this time.
Bannable getting a little bit curious. He's starting to watch mid. He does have a little itch that maybe Eastern were going B.
Yeah,
There's
looks
so
like
much
Eastern is
uncertainty.
still quite split on where they want to go.
Ben has decided he does not want to take that fight alone.
Which is probably a good thing. We see that they do a lot better when they have a teammate supporting them.
Yeah, Eastern is rotating now because they did get 3 players caught by the Dizzy there from Jay.
Yeah, they're definitely taking this round very slow. They keep going back and forth. So let's see if it ends up working out. Looks
Yeah,
like
they're absolutely just exploding on the site. Unfortunately, Raspberry not able to trade himself.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Maybe less
Team
players,
Ace.
but
a lot of
not
those
possible.
yeah, a lot of those shots were like just not connecting.
Yeah, there just wasn't much there to do. Strawberry, even if he got that kill on the race, he's dead to the ult, and it's just an equal round there.
It
CMU
looks-
is forced onto a save
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, with just pistols, it will be quite hard to win this round, and that will put Eastern at 11 if they're not able to get this.
Would you call a timeout here?
I'd probably call a timeout here. Yeah, seems like they don't want to use their timeouts yet.
There's just no harm in doing it. It could just even be just a mental reset. But they are trying to go for that orb for Jay, so he does have his Gecko all up.
Spike
Eastern
planted.
sneaking into Boba right now.
And they were able to plant very fast. They're definitely rushing this one a lot more than last round.
Definitely have a lot more confidence because they know CMU is on saves. They know that overall they have not much to fear unless CMU work really well together.
And it looks like that's just not happening.
Last player standing.
And just like that, it's only bannable against 4.
Yeah, and Eastern can process of elimination here. Probably no bannables here.
And his location has officially been revealed, so that's not going well.
Not much for him to do there.
Yeah.
He kind of just left it up to fate.
Definitely. And that brings Eastern up to 11. I'm really hoping that Central can make them not go to match point, but we will see.
There is always hope with the future maps because CMU doesn't have a lot more practice. Maybe it's just a lack of practice on Sunset. It's not super new, but it is one of the newer maps. And it is having some changes soon, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I heard about those changes. It will definitely be interesting to see how that affects college level games.
Yeah, absolutely. See how CMU plays it differently. CMU deciding to take all of this space off the bat. Bannable able to get the first blood. Kind of sending Eastern into a scatter right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to figure out where they can go from here.
Hopefully Bannable's able to fend them off. That's
But
just too much for him.
where you are.
He's not able to get another one. It is in CMU's favor right now. I'd like to see a little bit more teamwork. Hopefully
And-
Jay
yeah.
backs off of that angle.
One enemy remaining.
And Jay is able to get that kill.
Yeah, he got him before Eastern was able to pre-aim there. And they're just able to close it out.
Yeah, that was a very good match. That ran really well for Central. Pushing in to their spawn and stuff really helped. And trying to just keep them far, far away from site was definitely helping them out with
Yeah,
this round.
definitely. When they aggress like that, they give Eastern a lot less options of where to go and where they possibly could be. So when CMU cross out, like, they're definitely not here because we've taken control of this area. They know where Eastern will most likely go, and if Eastern tries to take that fight, which we just saw, Eastern will most likely lose because CMU has all of those angle advantages because Eastern has to come to them.
Looks like Eastern's going more towards mid this time.
Could be a good call because CMU not really sure how to defend here.
Yeah, they're all spread out.
Many people falling through the smoke. Bannable able to get one though. coming
is
out,
ready.
but
Oh. 2v3, it's kind of close. And it looks like they are gonna go plant on B.
I am the hunter.
Chojnacki able to get some value off of his ult here. Ideally, he gets some damage off. Not able to, but he was able to play that plant a little bit longer. My Gecko ult here doubles his utility, able to find out where they are.
Yeah, now it's a 2v2.
Player standing.
I'm just not expecting Eastern to be there though.
It looks like yet again it is down to Beef.
Beef knows where both are though.
One enemy remaining.
Looks like he's
Twice
going
there.
for the Sova. Will he be able to get the other one?
Back to
He
work.
really
Let's
has
get
to defuse
Eastern a little
soon.
antsy, but he's doubting a little bit where they are.
Ah, there's not much he could do there by himself.
Yeah, unfortunately he had the read initially, but
Match
got a little
point.
unsure because there was a lot of time in between when he killed Eastern Sova and then when he needed to defuse.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only so much time to try to get that kill and defuse, and with him being the only one, can't do much.
Not down too much though. Central, it's very possible to turn this around even, you know, using that timeout that they have. I feel
Let's
like
make
maybe
some
they don't
chaos.
call it because they don't want to ruin the momentum they already have, or maybe a discussion they're having, but a reset could be useful.
I am just a little bit worried because it is already match point, so if they do lose this, then we're on to the next map.
That would just not be ideal. Hopefully Jay able to get multiple here, but he's just not able to.
Bannable is not able to get his shots to align either.
Able to
Last
master
player
their ult, and
standing.
they're gonna use it.
Spike planted.
And it's, once
You
again,
see him using that
Attackers
bulldog
win.
just like it's a rifle. Absolutely unstoppable until he is.
yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it was just a practice thing.
Yeah, it looks like we are gonna go on to Haven next, and I do.
I'd like to see a lot more aggression because it did work out the first few times that they did it. So hopefully with all of the experience they've had on Haven, especially at the college level so far in the season, that they're able to switch it up, maybe switch the players from their usual roles or maybe play a different agent within those roles. But I guess we'll find out when we come back.
Yeah, we'll see you guys after the break.
Last player standing.
Enemy scanning ahead. There they are.
Can't use that.
Eagle-eyed.
One enemy remaining.
Remove my ultimate.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy
No more
remaining.
secret. Concentrate, Sova.
Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. So we're gonna go into Haven when the teams are both ready.
Yeah. We saw a lot on that last map. And right now we got Dawson back.
Yeah, we do. So hopefully that gives CMU a better advantage playing with a player they've already played before, maybe having one less difficulty to deal with, and hopefully CMU, they've played Haven multiple times, especially this season, so hopefully they're able to overcome it, pull out something new, hopefully maybe a different comp change, and we're seeing they're practically going with the same thing they play per usual, so definitely not doing that.
Yeah, but you know, if they got this comp down, I think we can still see really good things. Eastern was doing really well at adapting to CMU last time, so hopefully CMU can second guessing themselves.
Yeah,
because I think
Eastern
that's a nice
super
strat.
good at giving themselves favorable battles, and hopefully CMU is just a little bit more reluctant to give them such value, especially on the rounds that they had at Worst Eco.
Yeah, but both teams are really close. I mean, that last map was decently close, so I think we can definitely see Central take the lead on this map. I think we can definitely see some great things from both teams.
Yeah, there were a lot of rounds last map that, you know, Stroganoff maybe could have got if he had just a little bit more help, so they didn't lose by a large margin most of the round, so hopefully they're able to just have that little bit more of a push, and they're able to just show Eastern what they're all about.
Yeah, definitely.
They are starting out on A, but it looks like it is going to be a little bit of a bloodbath.
Yeah, and CMU is on attack, so let me see how this goes.
And so much util off of the bat. But Eastern able to get the first pick traded, but Eastern deciding to back off because they're like, whoa, this might be a little bit of a problem for us.
Yeah, definitely. I really am hoping that Central does well with this pistol round because usually they struggle a little bit, but
Hopefully CMU clearing that last person there. It looks like they're gonna.
Spike down A.
hopefully that isn't their downfall later.
Yeah,
One
BeefStroganoff
enemy remaining.
unfortunately paying the price for that. But they are able to get that first pistol round.
Yes! It's so good to see them getting a pistol round. They definitely needed that.
Who knows? Maybe it could be just because Dawson's back, or maybe it was a different strategy, but both are good.
Yeah. And this win is definitely going to keep their morale up, so hopefully they can keep this win streak going.
Yeah, hopefully they can just forget about the last round because the next round totally in their favor. They have better guns, so hopefully
Yeah, they have the better eco.
hopefully they can just peek together here and not give Eastern any advantage. No guns. Hopefully, you know, as we saw Strawberry making sure that rifle didn't get in their hands by throwing it off the map. Hopefully we see the same kind of energy.
Yeah. And it looks
Here.
like they're gonna maybe go more towards A.
Spat is watching from behind, which I do like, giving CMU a lot of range to move around. Eastern
Lots of util.
Eastern are just not sure what to do with themselves. Not really comfortable on these angles.
And Jay just pushes straight into the bloodbath.
Absolutely. Like a really good flash there from Yame.
Yeah. And they're already planting, and only that cipher is left for Eastern.
Not much he can do here. He just has a classic. But really good execute there from CMU. We saw the flash going off while CMU dashed into their cloud burst, and they were able to take on 3 players all at the same time, and it
Yeah.
came out in their favor. They were able to come out on top there. Usually not happening, but they were able to make that adapt.
Yeah, pushing in really helped them in this time, and they were able to really connect those shots well. So seeing that was just really nice for this round.
Yeah, it looks like Eastern was mostly looking for exit frags there, but not going to get any, because CMU, a little one step ahead.
And that spike is about to go off. Oh, and he is taken out.
Yeah, so other thing you'll see a lot, especially when they're on saves, they get more money if they die, especially to the bomb or another player. So if they live, they get less money. So that's why you see Eastern going straight into the bomb there.
Yeah. It is an interesting strat to see that you have to kill yourself to get money, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Looks like they're gonna do the same thing they did last time. I mean, hey, don't break it if it's still working.
Yes,
Yeah.
this should do.
So Bannable, I really like how he does the TP early on because it gives them another angle from which to peek in that maybe Eastern can't easily watch. Fortunately, Eastern being 2 there. Really good teamwork from Eastern here.
Yeah, definitely.
Spike down
There's
A.
only 2 left for Central.
They're able to get that pinch off. Hopefully they can punish Alexander.
They're able to connect a few shots through the smoke.
Player standing.
Actually, connecting a lot actually, but able to close
Unfortunately,
out the round.
flawless, yeah. Yeah, they kept getting those shots, but they were never able to fully take out somebody.
Yeah, they were able to do a lot of damage, and obviously that round wasn't super in their favor because Eastern didn't have rifles, but CMU has their rifles now, and they're going to take back A, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice because this, I feel like, is one of their more first, like, even fights. So it'll be nice to see what each of them does now that they both are on the same economy.
It looks like they're doing similar strategies. You see them both stacked towards basically the same areas on the map. If Central went to A like they have been, they would have had a much easier
Spike
time
down,
than they are right
attacker
now.
spawn.
Eastern deciding to back off of that because, like you said, they have even guns now. Every action counts. They can't be the team that makes that mistake.
Definitely.
CMU just inching towards. They do not have the spike right now.
Looks like they have to go back and pick it up. Yeah, looks like they're playing a little bit more of a slower round this time, and hopefully that ends up working out in their favor. Sometimes slowing down and really thinking about their next choice can help Central, so we'll see if that works out.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're all together here. A little bit unsure about the flank, or the lurk, but hopefully we're able to get some value off of that because this execution not going super well off the bat. Looks like they are going to retreat because they hear all those Eastern players and they're not really willing to play for that.
Which is very valid. They are
30
all
seconds
in
left.
A, so I think Terran 2 had some rounds, but they do only have 25 seconds, so...
Not able to get that good time, but not able to get a second one, but hopefully shaking up Eastern a little bit so this 2v4 is a lot more doable.
Looks like they're trying to quickly plant, and they only have
Planted.
12 seconds, but they are able to do it. But there is only 2 of them against 4, so...
Their positioning here is absolutely crucial. They need to be able to get 4 players, and that's a lot. And they were just able to get pinched there. There's just not much they could do. If they split up, they're doomed to give those 1v1s. If they stay together, there's that possibility of getting pinched.
Eastern did such a good job, though, picking them off one by one, and knowing when to rotate. They were able to do that really well.
Yeah, and I really admire how Eastern, after that first pick, they completely backed off. They weren't willing to risk losing that advantage.
Yeah, it seems like Eastern is really good at knowing when they have the numbers advantage and sticking to it.
Yeah.
And it definitely is benefiting them in this.
Hopefully CMU realizes how important it is to have that man advantage because maybe if that was a 2v2 they were able to win that round, but there's just so much for them to do in so little time.
Yeah, and having 4 people throw util at you is, you can only do so much. Looks like they're fully pushing C this time.
Hopefully they're able to get Logo right there and he's not able to get any value off of his trip, so CMU absolutely taking the side.
And it looks like maybe this numbers advantage will be in Central Michigan's favor in this time. Hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah, they do have better guns now, so it's all about positioning and being able to take those shots. And Eastern is just exploding onto the site, especially with that neon Uto basically running. And they're just peeking these angles so well.
Yeah, Central is struggling with knowing exactly where all these members are and being able to handle all the different angles that they have.
Yeah, the flank from Eastern was really smart because that's a long angle, and CMU there, they had worse guns, so they weren't able to take that fight very well, and especially with the neon ult, there was just not much to counter besides hitting the shot. And that was extremely difficult to do in that situation, being overwhelmed by multiple different players and util.
But it looks like we got full buy, full shields from both teams, so I think we can definitely see some interesting combat in this.
It looks like they do have the raid on each other here. They are going to go in the same fight they have been in the past few rounds. Hopefully CMU a little bit more ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, the score is really close still. They're definitely, they still feel so even. Even though Eastern is able to get those plays every once in a while, Central Michigan is being able to keep up.
Yeah, CMU is able to call some things here and there that help them change how the round is going, and I think they're making a little bit more smart decisions than they have in the past round, especially. Looks like they are looking to end A, and that is where there's the least amount of players because CMU was able to drag a few rotates out.
Yeah, Eastern is split up all over the board, so I think this is definitely a good option for them.
After Spad getting picked off, I would be running A. They don't have much time, and now they've been spotted with that Omen off. Need to be extremely careful of the Omen on Heaven right now.
Definitely. And with them only having 3 and Eastern having 4, it's definitely going in their favor.
They're just peeking these angles completely together, and Bannable being able to see those tracers, he absolutely takes out Santi.
Yeah. We've been seeing really good things from Bannable recently. He's most of the time really hitting his shots and really getting those corners.
Yeah, especially through the smoke, as you saw right there.
Yeah.
He's able, and you saw him immediately back up his teammate.
Yeah, seeing that teamwork from Central is so important, and now they're tied because of it.
Yeah, it's hard to think of what a horror story it could have been if Bannable wasn't there. He had such good timing and such good positioning, and
Right there.
he just worked so well with the team right there.
Get out of my way!
CMU fighting for this A space. You can tell it's kind of been the deciding factor for a lot of the rounds is if they're able to successfully take that space.
But again, Eastern is able to pick off one.
Yeah, and they're deciding they don't want to mess with the op there because it could just give off another player because it is a one-shot gun.
Looks like they're more heading towards C, and it looks like Eastern is kind of noticing that and slowly starting to rotate over there.
Thankfully, Spad was able to get one there, so it is an equal fight. Central does have an ult to maybe counter the breach ult, but it'll be extremely hard because it's just so impressive.
Yeah, they can't even plant because of that.
Spike down, C.
Spad on
Enemy remaining.
Impossible. He's able to get it. He knows where the last one is, and he's able to pull through.
That was amazing clutch right there from Central.
They all fell so fast from players on both sides, and thankfully Spad, knowing where both of them were, especially because of that neon stun, he was able to whip around and take that last shot and win the round.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that even in that bloodbath, he is able to identify where they are and get them before they can get him.
I can't
That's an amazing
imagine
play.
how fast you would have to process all of that information. There's so much laying on your, there's so much like on your shoulders there, especially with the econ.
This is what we need to keep seeing from Central. Stuff like this.
We need to see that confidence. We need to see those last-minute plays, those last-minute decisions. Seeing them look out for Bannable there while he's in a smoke. Jade is absolutely killing it on Duelist right now.
And they are just picking Eastern off one by one. This is going really well in their favor.
The aggression is just amazing because Eastern's not backing off. For once, usually they know when to call it, like, hey, we shouldn't be taking these fights, but they're willing to take these fights, and Central is just able to come out on top because of all this teamwork and this util.
Yeah, definitely. And with this numbers game, Central it's definitely in their favor.
It looks like Eastern is just willing to save here because it's just impossible. after putting CMU in those 3v5 situations, them being on the other side, they know this is just not worth it. They should just save their guns because of how tragic their economy is going to be after this round.
Definitely. And it looks like they are all retreating so that the spike does not kill them.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to play for exit frags there, but CMU deciding not to do that, not deciding to push after those guns because it was a lot more important to make sure that all players were alive.
Definitely. And this is going really well in Central's favor. I hope that they can keep up this momentum. They're doing so well so far.
Yeah, I'm loving seeing the lead here for Central, and they do have one more powerful ult to push Eastern off of A side, but it looks like they might not even have to because they only have one player towards there. They're really banging on CMU going C, and CMU's nowhere to be seen. They might run into Spat, but nothing more than that. Spat with all this info, I would be telling my teammate to go towards A.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
But Eastern is able to pick off some of them.
Yeah, and they're calling, hey, we need to leave. We need to leave. We need to not give CMU any more of our players there.
Yeah, definitely a good call from Eastern to back away a little bit.
CMU definitely should have immediately ran on the site there when Spad heard so many players. But thankfully, Eastern not really clearing much of the map.
Yeah, and it looks like even though Central doesn't have as many of the numbers, that they might still be able to get to A side. They just have to play it really cautiously.
Looks like it was a fake from CMU. Hopefully Spad taking a little bit more space towards Garage and C for CMU to get that easy rotate.
Yeah, nobody in C side. This might be a good opportunity for them to take it.
Yeah, but they need to be fast because otherwise Eastern is not going to hear
30
anymore
seconds
to
left.
execute and start thinking they're probably not A.
And with only 30 seconds left to place the spike, this is really coming down to the wire.
Yeah, CMU should be running knife out to get that bomb down.
Spad be able to get this kill, and he does. Okay,
Really good
12,
timing there.
10 seconds
11,
left.
10.
Spike
They are
planted.
able to plant just in time. That was quite close, though.
Looks like they are going for post plant from main. Could be a little risky. I'm hoping Spad gets one here especially, and it looks like he does.
And it is now a 2v2.
Eastern knowing where both players are, so they're gonna have to play this smart, but Eastern doesn't have any smokes to make this a lot easier, but CMU caught in a breach stun.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with that. It looks like Eastern will be getting this win.
Yeah, the control was definitely in CMU's for a little bit. CMU didn't have to peek them, even though Eastern knew where they were. They could have made Eastern walk all the way up C main and waste all of that time, but CMU was just a little bit more willing to take those battles, and unfortunately it just didn't go in their favor.
Yeah, but very close round though. Definitely both like strong teamwork on both sides. So it was just Eastern had that little bit more this round.
Yeah, CMU just wasn't expecting 3 players to all be Garage. It was a very hard fight. Hopefully we see CMU use more of these ults, because they do have Solo ult to push the players off, and they have Cypher ult to see where they're going. Could just be a very deciding factor.
Yeah, this could hopefully be a win for them. Looks like they're deciding to take it slow this round.
Thankfully, Spad is really good on these lurks. He's able to get a pick that helps CMU out a lot, and they just needed to be able to take control of that opportunity and act on it.
Yeah. It seems like Eastern is really good that when they do get that pick, that they use it to their advantage. They use the number game to their advantage, but Central hasn't always been doing that, so I do hope to see that from them this round.
Yeah, I feel like if Eastern and CMU's positions were switched, they would probably be exploding on the site after Spad gets that kill, but a little bit more hesitant from CMU. Trying not to make so many mistakes is kind of resulting in them making
Where
many
is
mistakes here and there.
everyone hiding?
But they were able to successfully plant, and it seems to be going really well. They're getting all their angles set up.
I'd like to see Spad regrouping with the group here after using his Cypher ult, so they know where everyone is. He's done a really good job at his role in this round.
Yeah. Yeah, with all this information that SPAD is getting, it's helping Central so much with this, and it's definitely helping them get these wins.
You're seeing Central push Eastern onto another save, even though they have 4 players. Because of the lack of util, the lack of information, SPAD set this round up for success, and CMU was able to take it. Looks like there might be a little confrontation here, but no one wants to move.
Yeah, looks like they're good. Central is leading so far. Oh, and it looks like we are having a timeout.
Called by Eastern.
I think Eastern definitely does need this timeout to regroup.
So you see, Eastern's so willing to make that timeout call as well. They see only 2 rounds down and they think, we need to change something. We need to get those last 2 rounds for this half, and I think maybe something to learn from.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, Central didn't use any timeouts last map, and I feel like they definitely could have.
Yeah, but thankfully everything is tipped in CMU's favor right now. They do have really good economy, and Eastern's probably trying to figure out right now how to buy and what to buy, and if they're even gonna buy at all, because you saw Neon on that op, but a lot of the other players couldn't buy, so maybe that money would be best used buying another player. But we'll definitely see what Eastern plans here. Maybe we'll see Eastern being a little bit more willing to take those post plant fights, because 4 players left and saving is a pretty something that's not standard. Usually they still try on a 4v5. When you see a 4v5, you know anything can happen, and they were just a little bit reluctant.
I'm just hoping that this timeout doesn't cause Central to lose any of the momentum that they had. I know sometimes when you take a little break from the game, you can end up messing up and making mistakes that you wouldn't normally have. So
Yeah, hopefully they were just reinforcing the things that they were already doing, and maybe giving each other just a pat on the back, especially, SPAD with all of those lurks, and then you see Jay with all of those really well executed entries.
yeah, definitely. And it looks like they're gonna go a little bit more split up this time.
Hopefully Jay is able to get the timing here, because Eastern is not looking towards here, and he's able to get it.
We know that the Cypher's here.
A little bit sloppy, but he's able to get a lot of damage off.
Yeah, I love that they're just rushing in with so much aggression. This has worked out in the past, and it seems to be slowly working now.
Yeah, it's continuing to work. Like, Eastern having to invest so much to be able to just get a little step on site.
It is a 4v4, but it could definitely be anybody's game.
BeefStroganoff able to get one, and you see SPAD. He has that timing right now. And they're just able to close out the round. They use that Sova. They use that Sova all extremely well, and they have 4 players left.
Yeah, that one. Central Michigan did everything right there. They were able to really put the pressure on that site and to use those ults in such a way to take out their players.
Yeah, they were able to counter that Neon ult extremely well, which is really hard to do, even for the best of the best, because of how fast she moves. That movement is really hard to track, and CMU was still able to counter it, which I find phenomenal. And hopefully they get this next round, because they'll only need 5 after that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we could definitely go to a 3rd map here. Looks like they're heading more towards A this time.
Yeah, CMU erasing the history of them not doing super well on Haven. And Eastern is just almost giving up the site again, and there's a misuse of that ult. You could see SPAD here just immaculate timing. It's like you can just see where they're going.
Unfortunately, he's not able to get that pick though.
Jay taking the ult here, hopefully trying to misdirect
Last
Eastern,
player
but not
standing.
taking him. But unfortunately, really good Neon slide there.
Yeah, definitely. Only so much Central could do
Switching
after
sides.
they picked off most of their team members.
Yeah, SPAD definitely had the read, but he just didn't have the execution. But it was extremely cool to see that his knowledge, he knew how many players of Eastern were on site, and he had a few question marks in his head, like where could the rest be? And he saw both flank, and he was able to give them some useful info, even if it came at the cost of him dying.
Looks like we're going into pretty much a pistol round here. no econ friend, anybody. So it'll be interesting to see.
Hopefully CMU has cracked the code on how to play these pistols against Eastern, because they were able to get it the first time, and they were able to, the first time on this map, and they were able to, you know, win by a big margin.
Definitely. And this win will definitely be big for the economy, and they could definitely propel them into getting more points for this.
Yeah, I see Eastern sitting back spawn, most likely discussing a game plan or things they want to do. You see CMU a lot more spread up. They're willing to cover almost everything except B, which we've seen a lot in the past when they play Aiden. They're willing to play retake on B, and hopefully their retake on that has gotten a lot better.
Yeah. Looks like they're about to go in. Yeah, it has been really 50-50 with these pistol rounds, but on Haven they have been doing better, so I think they could definitely win this, and they just have to play their cards right.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Eastern's going for more of that mid push on pistol. Not super common. Usually, off the bat, most teams, they push A. They're super confident pushing A, but ideally, you know, Yame gets one here and he gets out, or he just lives. Playing for your life there is absolutely important.
Definitely. Especially since Eastern is so good at that numbers game. And just like that, they're already able to plan.
Unfortunately, they know where Jay is, and maybe not expecting BeefStroganoff to also be there. Able to line up the shot, line up two.
That was amazing from Jay. He had perfect aim there.
Hopefully they expect another player being there.
Oh,
It's
one
just
enemy
a
remaining.
A frenzy.
Scanning ahead.
and they do know where Eastern is. Will they be able to get it? And the shots just were not connecting.
Yeah, Jay able to get that 4K, and they close out the round. They got the pistol, and they're gonna go into the next round with such a better advantage, and hopefully, you know, they'll be 5-9, and they'll be super close to that third map.
Yeah. Yeah, with their economy, they should definitely be able to win this next round. That was such a good play from them, using that util so well to get that spot and to be able to defuse.
Yeah, that paranoia absolutely countered the Neon's positioning there from Eastern, and it was just so well played by CMU. Like all of these little puzzle pieces, they all have to fit just exactly right for either team to win the round. CMU figuring out the puzzle more and more. And they just have such a good crossfire there. Bannable
Having
does
both
so
of those
much.
team members there is so helpful.
And you see Bannable using the paranoia.
One enemy
They're
remaining.
so low. Yame closing out the round.
And just like that, it's over. What amazing util from Central, and the way they work with their teams so well, having multiple people on different angles so that they can hit every single one of Eastern Michigan's team members before they can even come into sight.
Yeah, and I really loved how Bannable played that. He played that crossfire, and then after his teammate went down, he used that paranoia, and he probably would have got a third, you know, in a more lucky future. But he was able to get so much damage off, setting Yame up for success there.
Definitely, and that's what we need to see, setting your teammates up for success. And Central has been doing that these last few rounds.
Yeah, absolutely, and you see them working together mid. They're just looking to aggress.
Looks like Eastern's gonna head towards A. Hopefully Central is able to anticipate that.
It'd be interesting to see. It looks like they're willing to play retake here. They're absolutely banking on Eastern getting a little too confident pushing into their spawn.
Yeah, definitely looks like that. And having Spad and the behind creeping up, that might end up being beneficial later.
They able to get one
Player
thankfully, but
standing.
that aftershock is just absolutely devastating the placement.
And just like that, Spad is the only one left.
Are a lot of guns for him. He does have his own. Ideally, he just gets one here, doing whatever he can to damage their economy. And Eastern just playing that, just phenomenal, bit by bit, everything, just calculated.
Yeah, their util was so good, they knew exactly where to place it to hit Central Michigan's players.
Yeah, that aftershock just devastating. I've never even seen such a particular placement. Just absolutely trapped Jay. He couldn't go either way. He was just stuck. But
Yeah.
it does look like they put him on the op here, but he might not get any value off of it. Thankfully, BeefStroganoff is there to back him up.
And that's what we need. We need partners going into this, especially with something like the op.
No charges left.
Hopefully, we don't see Jay push up too much. Maybe don't want to see him overstaying his welcome.
Definitely. Looks like Eastern is maybe trying to head more towards speed this time.
Now he's ready though. Fortunately, just not able to line that up, but he was predicting that.
Tripwire destroyed.
Using the shock darts, but so many like question marks in CMU's head. They have presence here and then there in CMU, but it looks like they're just taking space all around the map.
Yeah, I think that CMU just still needs to make sure that they stay together, make sure that they have that teamwork.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's super hard for Jay right now. Thankfully, BeefStroganoff was able to clean up what he couldn't. And they just need to get out of there.
They're getting hit with so much util right now. It was really cool though to see him be able to get that neon, even when she was dashing in. With this 2v4, it might be a little hard for Central to win this round.
Looks like they are a lot more willing to take their chances though than Eastern has been in the past, especially with the number advantages. Usually you'll probably see Eastern here back off. They are doubled up hell, and that's
Last
just super
player
hard.
standing.
And just like that, it's just bannable.
So much discipline here. They're just not willing to give up anything that they have right now.
One enemy
Bannable is trying
remaining.
to get the exits here, making sure they don't have those rifles for next round. They gotta spend a little bit more money because of them.
Yep. And that's all that matters.
Fortunately, Bannable was not able to save that gun, but he was able to take 2 out in return.
It looks like Eastern is slowly creeping up to tying, so hopefully Central can get past this and get it. But it does look like they... Actually, maybe not. Looks like they might have to not buy as much this round, or they're taking their sweet time.
Central really banking on the fact that Eastern will go in. It just doesn't look like that's going to be possible. Retake on saves can be extremely hard, but hopefully they're able to pull through. Hopefully Spad gets that early info, and because they have worse guns, they're just willing to rotate off of any noise.
And just like that, Eastern is already planting.
planted.
They were able to get into that site so fast because nobody was there.
My ultimate is
Fortunately, Spad able to recover from that.
Yeah, that was a good pick, but it looks like Eastern is just being able to pick a little bit more than them.
Last player standing.
And just like that, Yami's the only one. Oh!
Yami doing the most here.
Yeah, we've seen from him in the past that when he's the last one standing, sometimes he can really make good damage.
If you put a sheriff in his hand, anything is possible.
Unfortunate.
Hard there.
Yeah, with by himself, he could only do so much.
Yeah, Eastern really utilizing their util there. They don't really have to peek Yame there. They can just let their util do all of the talking.
Yeah. But it does look like Central is able to full buy this time.
Yeah, so hopefully, you see Eastern, one of their players, on the Odin, so hopefully CMU doesn't become subject to that.
And I'm really hoping that Central can make sure that they don't tie it up this round. We really want them to have that lead because it's going to be so beneficial for them.
Yeah, we really want that third map because CMU possibly could do really good on Lotus because of how much they played. You've seen already improvements on the way they've been playing Haven. Like, imagine what could be done on Lotus.
Spad being able to take out 2.
Absolutely unstoppable, setting his whole team up.
But the question is, will that setup be enough for them?
You see CMU there, they have breach on. That's phenomenal for retake. So Eastern might back off a little bit.
Looks like they're slowly creeping in. And it does look like Eastern did back off a little bit, not wanting to confront that ult.
Yeah, they wanted to find the ult first before the ult found them. They have kind of an idea where Eastern is hiding, but should top
enemy
tap the
remaining.
bomb to...
And there's only one person left for Eastern. Will he be able to defuse in time? Oh, Oh, and he's able to take him out.
Super good play there, but BeefStroganoff definitely should have waited for Jay there. Could have been such an easier round to take, but thankfully Jay on his aim game.
Yeah, Jay has been doing so much better with hitting every single one that comes past him.
Yeah, doing super well, especially with the timings you saw with the Sova drone. He heard it and he immediately pushed, and he was able to get two because they're just not expecting that. A little bit scary. Eastern does have all 5 ults, and Neon ult plus Sova ult plus Breach ult could be absolutely devastating for CMU.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely hard for them to win this round, but hopefully Eastern burns a lot of their ults in this round and they can make the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully Eastern maybe acts off of the wrong info or Spat able to let one go through. Able to get the spike down.
B.
It was quite smart of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that bait out. He's able to get 2 there. Able to get the gun.
Ultimate is ready.
Yeah, and guarding that spike is gonna be crucial.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything, you know. Eastern has to come to them, and
Yeah.
Spike's absolutely locked down.
Yeah, really, all they have to do is play the waiting game. This was really smart by them. Letting that Neon go through was so beneficial.
You see all of the crossfires that they have here. Like, if Eastern moves, even tries to move in, it's over. Hopefully, CMU doesn't get a little antsy here and attempts to peek out. If I was Bannable, I would just smoke it off again. No reason to take any contact.
Looks like Eastern is maybe thinking about confronting this.
One enemy remaining.
3.
Spat able to make that flick. Absolutely. Oh.
And just like
Really
that,
good
they're
there.
able to win that. And we're almost to match point.
CMU just has to scrounge out a few more rounds, and obviously they're fully capable of doing it. And you see Eastern calling another timeout because they're just so antsy. They don't want to give CMU match point, and they're trying to make anything they can work. You'll probably see Eastern here force because you'll either see Eastern force or save here to try and prevent CMU from winning the game, and it'll be interesting to see which one they choose.
Yeah, and that last play, like the teamwork there was so well done. Knowing to let that Neon go out so that the spike planner will come in and that they can guard the spike was such a strong move. And being able to kind of almost sneak up on Neon after that and get that kill as well. Just really good thoughts, really good planning behind that play.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Spad in a different universe where he kills the Neon there, unfortunately, that would make Eastern completely back off and the spike would go somewhere else. But because he was able to let the entry in, you know, the rest of the team thought it was safe, and Spad was able to get the most, debatably the most important player, which was the one with the spike. And it all just fell down from there.
Yeah. Hopefully with that timeout, like the last one, Central can keep up that momentum. They seem to be doing pretty good when there's timeouts to still keep up the energy.
Yeah, Eastern really hesitant to use those ults, and hopefully, I mean, obviously, unhopefully they don't use them this round, but ideally we see CMU able to counter them because we have the Breach ult. That can counter the Neon ult as long as we use it right.
Yeah, definitely. I think this will definitely be a round of util and seeing which side can use this util better.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Yame there just eliminating the threat. And he's going to pop that ult, and then it's going to be super impossible for Eastern to do anything about it. You see
Such a good
BeefStroganoff
run.
so confident jumping out of there, and they're just able to clean up the round.
And just like that, it's over. That was such good play from Central. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew who to take out. They knew who they could get later. And
They had so much discipline there because they were able to get that Neon, and it was basically a wrap there.
yeah, getting out that Neon when they have that ult was so smart of them. And using their ult so well just worked out perfectly for them.
We might see a little bit of chaos in this round because Eastern has nothing to lose here. They can use all of their ults to prevent match point from CMU, and that's most likely what's going to happen. Fortunately for CMU, Eastern was able to get no value off of that Neon ult, and honestly, that was probably the biggest threat on the ult
This
list.
is the nice spot.
Yeah, definitely. And even if Central does lose this round, they have enough of a buffer that they can definitely come back and win the next round.
Yeah, they have a lot of margin of error, whereas Eastern, not at all. They really need to get this round to where it's a wrap.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see the desperation in Eastern and what they do with that.
We'll see if maybe that desperation causes a few mistakes that makes this round even easier for CMU. It looks like they're completely defaulting the spike, still being left in attacker spawn.
And they're all split up, so
Not sure if Yame was able to see Alexander there, but
he's backing off of it, letting Neon come in and flash.
looks like they are executing the A.
He's not able to hit those shots.
Yeah, just super unfortunate, but Spat able to recover. You see BeefStroganoff here preventing the plant with that solo ult. Super well used. Eastern having one good post plant ult, but it does look like they are playing on site for this one.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna try to hold their ground. Will Jay be able to use their knives?
Unfortunately, if he just had a little bit more support there, because there's just too many angles for him to watch.
My eyes are better than yours.
Spad's super good with all of these shots. You know he's good for one.
It's already down to a 2v2.
There's
He's just not able to
time.
win.
There's just not enough time for
Concentrate, Sova.
BeefStroganoff, even with how good he's been aiming lately. Not much he can do here.
But we did kind of anticipate this. We anticipated them using a lot of their ults and using a lot of their util. But luckily, again, we have that buffer. We can still win this next round.
Yeah, there is room for mistakes, but only so many mistakes. We need to see CMU try and predict where Eastern is going to go, because CMU could definitely win that battle if it was a 5v5, if they knew where they were going. And you see Jay posted up on the op once again. Having so much support from his players as well. You see BeefStroganoff A main while Jay's playing short, and with the support from the breach util.
And already, they're already getting hit with so much util.
Hopefully they're just not expecting this angle from Jay, but he just narrowly misses the legs.
Looks like he's gonna have to fall back a little bit.
Tripwire destroyed.
But thankfully at no cost.
Eastern deciding if they still want to push A or if they should go somewhere else. Looks like they're gonna continue with it.
Yeah, Spad hears them. Jay able to get the first blood. So good when in the right hands.
Oh, Neon sliding on in, but she gets. Oh, never mind. She does not get
Just
picked.
narrowly misses.
Narrowly
the Neon
misses.
there.
Spike planted.
Neon is still surviving somehow.
Really need CMU. They have 2 ults here. It could be super helpful. Paranoia goes out from Bannable. Unfortunately, Jay not able to get any value on him.
Looks like they're still storming in.
Hopefully, Eastern use more of those ults, so the next round is more winnable.
This is Emma.
Spad just cleaning them up though.
And already trying to defuse.
It's so amazing if he was able to get it there.
That was very close. Central was very close to playing that right. They were doing a lot of the right moves, just some things were not connecting there.
And you can see here, Eastern, they're spreading those ults out across this time. They're not, contrary to what we thought, they weren't going to use all of their ults in desperation. They're playing this very, very smart. They want to make sure they always have an ult lined up for the next round. So probably going to see a breach out here to get onto site, and not sure many things they could do with the Omen ult here, whether it be for info or rotating, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, and Central forced to buy some pistols here, so might be a little bit of a harder round for them.
Not a complete loss, because we've seen what players like Yame can do. They
are able to make it down to a 3v3.
Yeah, Central able to make Eastern completely back off. Hopefully,
Right
you know, you can see Jay probably fiending for those guns that are down right now.
And hopefully he is able to get one, because that would be so much better than the pistol he has.
Even though he has done quite a lot with it. Unfortunately, Alexander
Spike down mid.
Yame is able to get the...
Ben was prepared, wasn't prepared again. But you can see those guns on the ground now. Hopefully,
BeefStroganoff, he's not able to predict that.
able to get 2 in just such a short time. Eastern probably suspecting that because of those guns down.
Very close round there. And unfortunately, Eastern is creeping up. Central really needs to win this round. But they do have full buys, so that helps.
Yeah, so it is an even matchup. So hopefully CMU using whatever they can right now. Maybe feeding orbs to BeefStroganoff for that Sova ult, or setting them up for kills just for that retake.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely what we need to see here. We need to have them get this so we don't have to go into overtime.
Overtime could be so much harder because they're not super great on the attack.
Careful now.
Unfortunately, Sven just not able to get any value off of that.
Off your feet!
Will Yao may be able to get these picks? Ah, Neon is just too fast.
And the movement's actually crazy, but it's not able to get 3 even while stunned.
Oh, and only Neon is left. This is what Central needs.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're
able
able
to
to
take
pick
the
off-
second map.
Yes, that was amazing. They were able to pick off that Neon.
Just Spad with absolutely amazing
Yes.
individual performance there. And then Bannable cleaning up what he couldn't, and then just taking out the last person, and they were able to, even though it took a little bit, they really benefited from having such a large margin of error just to be able to work out whatever they could.
Yeah, seeing that teamwork, it was really amazing to see. They definitely were working together more at the end, and they did so well with defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm honestly really surprised how they definitely changed, especially from other maps. They were really playing together there. Whenever a player went down, you saw another one swooping in and taking out what they couldn't.
Yeah, and they were always covering multiple angles. They always had somebody right there to get that other kill.
Yeah, I'm super excited for CMU to go on Lotus because that is an attack-sided map, and you saw them absolutely flourish on an, going against the attack, doing the attack. They're going to do absolutely well, even though Lotus is an attack-sided map. They've shown that their defense is good, even when it's not in their favor.
Yeah, and I do know that they have been training extra hard on Lotus, so it'll be interesting to see if they've learned so many new strats in order to take to Lotus.
Yeah, it'll be interesting head-to-head, especially since it's been so even, and now it's a 1-to-1 with so much suspense,
Yes.
but I guess we won't know until it happens,
Yeah.
so we'll see you after the break.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
For now.
For now, yeah.
One enemy remaining.
It is.
One enemy remaining. Standing. Spike down. C. One enemy remaining.
Delete.
One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is. Where is it?
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Tripwire destroyed.
One enemy remaining.
3.
Amateur.
My eyes are better than yours.
Die.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Slammer.
Spike planted.
Flash out!
We're here and we're gonna go to Lotus.
Yeah,
third
definitely
map.
really good to see a CMU recover there because, you know, they could have so many things in store, especially for Lotus, that it would be such a shame that we weren't able to see that. But thankfully we are, and we saw so many adaptations, and you really saw CMU utilize their teamwork there and their util, and just overall everything was so much better.
Yes, and that teamwork, like, it was, all the moves were just so lined up so well. And just seeing them being able to celebrate that together and being able to get that win was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely probably felt super good for them, especially, you know, first map was really rough. They didn't have their first central, like, one of their central players, and, you know, they were able to recover. They were able to show, especially Yami was able to show that he's an integral part of the team. And, you know, you saw him performing, but you also saw Spad just absolutely phenomenal on the lurks. He was able to get so many, and even on the last round getting, 4 there?
Yeah, he is able to pick off so many of their team members, and it has been so valuable for their team. with his aim, it's just been every pick he's able to get it.
Yeah, and absolutely. Even though the last game was pretty close, you know, CMU, they had a lot of leeway. They had a lot of leg room, especially there. But hopefully we see CMU just absolutely knock it out of the park, because they basically cracked basically cracked Eastern and how they play attack. So, you know, Lotus is an attack-sided map, but you can see that CMU has a really good defense. So hopefully they're able to transfer that from Haven to Lotus. Kind of similar setup. You still have the 3 sides. You still have mid kind of being sometimes an integral part, but, you know, we'll just see as we go.
And it looks like they're sticking with mostly their normal comp so far.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. You do see Eastern basically going for the same comp, but once again, just exchanging Kale for Fade there.
I do know that BeefStroganoff has been working on getting those, practicing with Fade quite a lot, so it will be interesting to see if any of the stuff he's learned can be applied here.
Yeah, you definitely see him as a very strong initiator player, and even when he's not centered around his util, he has super good aim. And you saw CMU definitely acknowledge that they need to be supporting their players who are doing really well, especially individually. So hopefully they're able to do the same thing once again, and hopefully with all of this practice they've had on Lotus, you know, this goes a different way than it has in the past.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think with this momentum that they got from the last game, carrying it into this one, it could be so beneficial for them to overall win this.
Yeah, and you'll definitely be able to see it in the way that they play. They'll definitely be, assuming this energy transfers, they'll be a lot more confident. They'll be able to do the same plays that they've been playing. Hopefully they don't get a little too shy from essentially just the map name changing, because a lot of the ways that you play Lotus not super different from the way you play Haven. A lot of the integral parts of both maps kind of the same.
Yeah, so it will be interesting, and I am wondering what we will see from Eastern. They have definitely been changing it up a lot, but it also seems like they get confused at some point. So it'll be interesting to see how they navigate those tough decisions for this map.
You definitely see whenever they have information in their hands, they're able to use it most of the time really well, but CMU was able to shake that up a little bit, giving them misinformation, maybe false information, just able to play the map and then round so well. Hopefully we're able to see a little bit more weakness from Eastern, especially with a lot of those calls that CMU can take all of the weak points and act on it.
Yeah, and this time we have CMU starting on defense, so we're going to see how that goes. They started on attack on both of the other ones, so maybe this will be a little bit of a difference for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and they had a really good defense run on Haven, so expecting a lot of those skills and that experience to transfer just off the bat, especially with Spad. You know, he'll probably get the same amount of value on both sides because he's just doing individually super well right now.
Definitely. And it'll be interesting to see how they do with this pistol round, since, again, it has been 50-50. They did pretty well on Haven, but we'll see if they can keep doing that for this map.
Hopefully we see BeefStroganoff and Spad getting multiple, and then the rest of the team just sweeping it up.
Camera taken out.
You see Spad just backing off here, playing for his life, because that's extremely important, especially in pistol. Not really much advantage. They're on an even playing field, so anything and everything counts.
Yes, definitely. Looks like Fade is creeping up on the back, trying to get those picks from behind.
Thankfully, BeefStroganoff to get that trade. Kind of shaking up where Eastern wants to go. Looks like they're heading more towards A after that opening.
Hopefully, Central is able to anticipate this and rotate over, which it looks like they are doing.
Yeah, BeefStroganoff kind of in a risky position right now. He does get cleared out, but they aren't able to do much about it.
And already it's down to a 3v3.
Yeah, because of BeefStroganoff's positioning there and that bullet he got, he was able to get one player super low.
One enemy remaining.
They're able to get one, stop the plant, and they're doubled up together.
And only Cypher is left on their team. But now it is a 1v1.
Cypher completely clueless about where the other player is, but
30
Bannable
seconds
also
left.
just as clueless, and they're just running circles around each other. He's able to close it out. He's able to get that pistol round.
Dang, my anxiety was through the roof right there.
I know, just the timing. It's just classic Valorant timing.
Yes. Both of them just going around and around, not knowing where the other person is.
thankfully, you know, they were able to get so much damage off, especially BeefStroganoff was super worried there about his positioning against 4 other players, but he was able to do it, and he was able to get almost 2 people. Even though he was at such a disadvantage, that really spelled out the round for CMU.
Yeah, definitely. They were able to get... BeefStroganoff was able to pick so many and make it more of an even playing ground for them.
Yeah, and you see that just impressive util combo, making it so easy for CMU to push out and keep that space.
Definitely. Looks like there's a lot of activity happening towards C right now, but Eastern's deciding to maybe go a different route.
Yeah, just a little bit reluctant, especially with those smokes. They know that CMU is willing to contest that space.
Yeah, and with CMU having more of the economy on this round, they have to be quite careful.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna try and explode, but Yummy, he's got it all under control.
Yeah, and he's able to pick off a couple of them before they get him.
BeefStroganoff in this position again, probably gonna get at least one, just because
Hopefully.
of the gun advantage.
Fortunately, it's not this time. Too many angles to hit.
One enemy remaining.
But thankfully, we gotta have a bunch on the flank. Spike's isolated, and Bannable just closes it out.
Yeah, Bannable really being able to end these rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even though you know it's a projected round, they're probably gonna win that based off of them winning pistol. It's still something to be excited about. It's still a round, and rounds matter. Like having a 2-0 start can just predict how the rest of the game will go, or just, you know, get that little morale boost here and there. Or maybe, you know, since they have the gun advantage, they could try something a little bit different, because there's not as big of a risk as it would be having 2 full buys.
Yeah, definitely. And just having this buffer with wins will definitely be helpful in the future.
Yeah, and you see that util combo, they're able to actually get one with a nade and change with a super clean bullet right there. Unfortunately, Yami sacrifices his life for the gun there.
And it's just down to Bannable and Cypher. Will they be able to make this more of an even playing field?
Yeah, they're able to pick up some
Spike
guns on the
planted.
way, and Eastern won't be able to really stop them. They're so void of any info. Just have to clear everything, and
Only
it's
so-
just so little time.
Yeah.
Able to switch for Vandals, making this a lot more possible. They
Cage
probably
triggered.
don't expect all 3 players posted up tree, but CMU doesn't know that. They still have to clear every single angle.
Will they be able to anticipate this? It looks like that it's only Bannable.
Fortunately, just with that gun advantage, all of them in such a little concentrated area, just not much they can do. And that's, you know, that's okay, because it was their bonus.
Yep. Yeah, again, sometimes it just comes down to numbers. There just wasn't enough of them to really be able to diffuse the spike there.
Yeah, they definitely did all they could, and they did a good job of what they could possibly do.
I hope Central is able to keep this small lead that they have over them. They really need this.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Central, they have all of the power in the world right now with that momentum. You know, they're super comfortable on defense.
My camera is destroyed.
You see them making a little bit more presence towards C, but
Tripwire
they're just so
destroyed.
reluctant. You see the spike not going with them. They're just trying to sniff out what CMU is doing at the moment, because they're just so unsure.
Yeah.
Eastern does have 3 ults though, so it doesn't make sense why they would be so reluctant.
Yeah, they seem to be taking each of these rounds really slow.
It's so hard so hard to figure out what Eastern is doing here. You see the spike going towards A, but you see the majority of players going B.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Central Michigan can handle this.
Shadows traveling.
I suspect they're going to try and push that. They're trying to pinch Central in some way. Bannable, super good peek there. Able to get some info.
Yeah, it looks like they're officially gonna go for B. But it's just a bloodbath.
30 seconds left.
Spike is in CMU's hands right now.
Monster on the loose!
One enemy remaining.
Spat able to get another one. 2v1 right now, but he is able to get Spike, but both CMU players, they know where it's gonna go.
Oh, and just like that, they're able to take him out.
Yame's super good with that shot. Absolutely well done.
Yeah, that aim was really good there. And the teamwork there of being able to control the spike for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. They were able to trade each other. They were able to they were able to make the shots count that mattered.
Definitely. And I think we just need to keep seeing that teamwork going forward. It's already 3v1.
Yeah, and Eastern's forced on another save round, so that's already in CMU's favor to go for that 4-1.
Definitely.
Looks like they are willing to contest this. There's just not much Eastern can do here besides play super together, and CMU has so much leeway here. They're able to do almost anything they want to.
Yeah, and it looks like Eastern again is just trying to keep a close combat, but
somehow that Ray's all missing, not getting a single player shot.
That's crazy.
Get the hairs on their head.
Yeah. That's unfortunate that U-tool was not put to good use.
BeefStroganoff getting so much info off of there, thankfully. Giving CMU at least somewhat of an idea of what's going on here.
Yeah, and it looks like Eastern's trying to more go for A now, still sticking close together.
Two players are somewhat low, so hopefully CMU are able to use that to their advantage, knowing maybe they could go for a few body shots here and there.
I really hope that Central is able to group up a little bit. Oh, and they're going towards P now. Central just cannot get there fast enough with all these rotates that keep happening.
Bannable definitely going to get this kill. Low health there.
Spike planted.
But any player down is helpful. Strat getting another one. Doing so much util there. There's nothing Eastern can do there. Such good util usage. And they know where the last guy's at.
Yeah. Central Michigan doing so well with, even though Eastern kept rotating to different sites, they still were able to get there and be able to counteract that.
Yeah, just love to see that Jay using the wingman that so he could peek with BeefStroganoff there to make sure that they had that 2v1 locked.
Yeah, just such good teamwork here. They're able to collaborate so well together and able in order to get this win.
Yeah, and it's just so nice to see that 4-1, and hopefully that lead keeps getting bigger and bigger, because you see Eastern there, they're a little concerned about that lead, and they're calling a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that this is a good idea for Eastern. I feel like Eastern, even though their timeouts haven't been going that well for them, they have been calling them at really good times.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the same sort of pacing. I would definitely call a timeout. You know, it's at the same... You know, you see something going wrong and you know you have to change it before it gets too out of hand, and Eastern is able to identify when that's about to happen or when it's maybe about to happen.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe Eastern will be able to use this timeout to regroup and get better, but also Central Michigan, usually when these timeouts happen, they are still able to come back strong, so they're going to have a lot to fight for.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw in Haven, even when they called the timeouts, you know, Eastern had a good game plan, but the rounds were close, even as is. Even though, you know, Eastern got a bunch of rounds there at the end, Central wasn't losing by a lot. Central's still trying their best to adapt. It just comes down to the wire.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see if they can keep up this momentum, if they can win this next round. Central already has such a big boost with, like, how many rounds they've won. If they can keep up this momentum, this could be a quick third map.
Yeah, and Eastern just, they want to take that lead away. They want to make it theirs.
Already coming in with so much util.
Eastern a little hesitant though.
Keeping that Cypher back to get more information.
Trying to make sure they don't get caught off guard. It's such a good lead from BeefStroganoff. Not able to connect, and they're able to spike down
Oh, he's able to pick off two.
One enemy remaining.
But
the round is just theirs.
wow, that was so good for Central. They were able to connect each and every one of those shots, and they're able to play as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. CMU only needed like 2 players there to be able to close out the round. There was just such good teamwork there, because even though they were against the entire team, they were able to clean up so well.
And BeefStroganoff, knowing right when to peek, he was able to get that information that they really needed.
Yeah, even though the first peak that he had was a little bit unfortunate, he was able to recover, and that forces Eastern onto a save, which puts the favor in CMU once again, possibly getting an even higher lead.
And this is perfect for Central Michigan. This map is attack-sided, and yet they are dominating on...
Yeah, they're dominating on defense, which is so good to see.
Yeah.
Because that kind of, in a way, as long as they keep this teamwork in, could possibly guarantee a bunch of rounds on attack just because of how well they play.
Yeah, definitely.
Fortunately, Jay getting caught by it all, but
Yeah.
there's not much he could do there.
Hopefully that this doesn't come down to a numbers game like it normally does.
Eastern having that gun in their hands, giving it to Alexander, getting so much, just peeking so well together. You saw them all just run at that CMU player.
Yeah, definitely. And now Central is only down to 2 members.
Thankfully, BeefStroganoff to get that rifle out of their hands.
Yeah, they're just trying to get what they can.
Yeah, there's just not much they can do. Time's not in their favor, so they're trying to get these exits.
Thrifty.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern taking out one of their own players with Util.
Yeah. And as we see, that was a thrifty round from Eastern. They were able, even though they didn't have as strong of guns, they still were able to take over that round.
Yeah, and I think that Gecko was definitely a big part of that because they were able to get that rifle off the bat and give it to their duelist.
Yeah. I think definitely being able to get that gun helped them so much, and that was really smart of them to use that ult in that way.
Yeah, and now, you see they have quite a bit of money on 2 of their players, and they still have rifles. It was a very good, just the start of the line, especially for Eastern there with that Gecko ult, and they were able to use it again instead of sacrificing the player to peek out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yame and Stroganoff here, but you've seen what they can do. They're not super phased by this push.
And it looks like the Cyphers are even near each other. That will be an interesting matchup.
Looks like Eastern is looking to head B. Just has that perfect timing.
Yes. And he, again, is able to really connect those shots.
Hopefully just getting so much value for his team, but Jay terrified of this all.
Cage 3.
But unfortunately, with only 2 members left, it's going to be really hard to retake this.
Don't worry.
Spad
Where
just getting
is
the most of the
everyone hiding?
Not letting that sniper cage stop him at all. There's not much he can do. No reason for Eastern to keep aiming at these angles on
Yeah. And there was only so much Central could do that round. They were struggling right off the bat.
Yeah, Eastern just doing really well there, especially even though they didn't have close range weapons, they were able to take those close fights together, and that just really tipped it in their favor. You see CMU here basically forced on a save, so hopefully
Yeah.
they're able to pull something out of the bag like Eastern did just now.
Yeah. And it looks like Eastern is slowly getting close to closing that gap. Only 5-3 now.
Really interested to know what they talked about in that timeout, because mechanically you're not seeing much difference in how they're playing, but you just see the rounds tipping more in their favor.
Yeah, it is just the slightest bit, but oh my gosh, they're able to just pick off all of Central yet again.
Player standing.
And just like that, it's only Spad. And there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, they probably, Eastern, knowing that CMU's on a save round, probably knew they would try to do something spontaneous and different, and they just didn't want to be caught by that, because CMU was caught by Eastern's plans on their save round, and so they didn't want to repeat the same thing.
Yeah, but luckily, they can buy this round, so hopefully we see a little bit of a better matchup. I really don't want Eastern to be able to close this gap and tie it up for us.
Yeah, interestingly, you see BeefStroganoff, he's on an initiator and he has that Odin, so hopefully he'll be able to get kills without even seeing the players, using his eyes.
Yeah. And already we have so much util coming in. It looks like Eastern's progressing a little bit slower this time.
You see, whenever Eastern slows down, they're just working the map. They're trying to figure out what's going on. You've seen they're not reluctant to change where they're going or rotate. And They're trying to put so many question marks in CMU's heads that they
Cage
can just
triggered.
immediately push out. You can see Spat a little bit anxious here.
Yeah, he is the only one on site. There's only so much he can do. And it looks like he's deciding to retreat a little bit.
Looks like they're all gonna play retake together here. Stroganoff still having so much util. He still has that haunt for that Odin play.
Will he be able to get this kill right here is the question. And he is.
Bannable. Hopefully, yeah, getting more
I
off of
know
his ult.
exactly.
No, unfortunately traded.
Last player
We're
standing.
down to just BeefStroganoff. He does know where they are though.
They know where he is.
Uh-huh.
A matter of time.
Yeah. Dang, Eastern just using their util a little bit better than Central and tying it up.
They were able to give their players such a good cover there. You saw one of the Eastern players reloading, and Stroganoff almost took that opportunity, but you saw their team coming in and saving that player. Even though the round was already essentially theirs. It's just very important to look out for your teammates and looking out for that eco. Because you see here, Central forced on a save once again.
Yeah.
Hopefully not repeating the same mistake they did on their last save and just
I will
trying to
find them.
play it a little bit more standard. Because Eastern's looking out for those spontaneous plays.
Yeah, hopefully Central can make something of this round. It will be really hard with their eco though.
We've seen Yame on the Sheriff before, so hopefully, you know, with all of these teammates surrounding him, he's able to get so much value.
Spike planted.
Unfortunately forced to retake because the gamble stack was just not where Eastern was going. We do have a lot of info though to be able to get onto the site, or a lot of info to get onto the site.
And some of these shots just not connecting.
So close, but so many players they have to watch out for.
Yeah, and so many angles and they just can't cover them.
They're doing super well for
Last
this game.
player
They're still gonna have to get another one.
Yeah, Eastern knowing every angle that they need to cover and being able to
Last
do that
round
very
in the
successfully
half.
here.
Yeah, you saw them once again just at each other's back. They were able to look out for each other. They were able to make sure that CMU had trying to make sure that CMU had no opportunities or the least amount of opportunities possible to pick off any Eastern players on their save because that's crucial.
And it looks like they are both full buy. Hopefully that Central can tie this up and not let Eastern take the lead on this.
You see Central moving around a lot with their defenses, and it's honestly making them miss Eastern's executes because you see them going A when they were stacked towards A last round.
Yeah, I think Central just needs to kind of anticipate a little bit more where Eastern's going.
Or especially being a lot more willing to rotate.
Why
But I
destroy?
really like this angle stats taking.
Yeah.
Possibly, they just didn't expect it there, but
But you can't connect those shots.
thankfully getting so much value off of that
remaining.
Gecko. Peeking together, absolutely phenomenal
Yes.
team play.
And it looks like they can hopefully tie this up. All they have is that cipher left on Eastern.
That's just impossible for Little Go here. Double closing it out, and just a really good way to end out the half.
Yeah, we're tied
Switching
6-6. Both of these teams are playing really well. But it will be interesting now to see Central Michigan on attack since this is a more attack-sided map.
Yeah.
They did so well on defense, so hopefully they can keep that stamina up.
Yeah, even though, you know, at the first glance, 6-6 is not super great, but considering how hard it is sometimes to defend on Lotus, 6 rounds is great, especially with how easy, there's 3 sites, so it's so much easier for attackers. You saw Eastern just bouncing from one site to another, just so, it's just so easy for them to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully Central Michigan is able to take this advantage that they have, being on attack, and use it, and being able to make the score go in their favor.
Yeah, they need to make Eastern honestly super anxious about what they're doing.
And it looks like
Spike
Eastern
down,
is just
C.
fully pressing into their spawn. Interesting move from them.
Spat able to get an Eastern player caught off guard. You see all of this duel is gonna happen here because they need that spike.
No, definitely.
One enemy remaining.
And thankfully, they're able to win that duel. Super good util usage there from Yame, driving out the
Definitely.
players from that angle.
And this pistol round is going so well for them. They're able to use what they have to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, you know, the last player for Eastern has no idea where they could be. That's 4 different players, 4 different angles. Just impossible. You see, he doesn't expect BeefStroganoff there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, CMU in the lead once again, and you saw it. Even though Eastern tried to aggress, they tried to essentially switch the sides there. CMU did absolutely fine. They recovered.
Yeah, and even though Easter just rushed into their spawn, they were able to anticipate it and attack back. And now they have the economy, so hopefully they are able to get this round quite easily.
And they weren't afraid to choose the best of the best guns that they could buy. You see them full shields with the Bulldog, absolutely powerful. Could one-shot some of the Eastern players with just one bullet to the head.
Yeah. Definitely having those guns can give them such an advantage here and be able to pick them off so much faster.
And they have so much power to work the map here. Even, you know, with the Kale util, it doesn't matter if their util is down because they have the better guns. They can take so many fights with so much courage.
And already they're able to get some damage on Eastern, which will hopefully help them in the future.
Quiet here from CMU. They're playing with a lot of discipline, which I like to see, and they don't want to give Eastern any of these guns. You see them slowly pinching the site. It's just impossible for Eastern to stop this.
And they're always so on those angles. They always are ready and anticipating Eastern.
Just not much for Eastern to do here. They just have to let CMU give it the plant down.
No, they're not fully able to connect these shots.
Thankfully, he has that ghost as backup while he's reloading. Unfortunately, Eastern getting 2 there, but...
One enemy remaining.
And just like that, there's only the Cypher left. Oh,
Bannable going out with style there.
yeah. That was amazing to see.
And he's just so good, and they're going into this bonus round because they were so confident about buying those guns. They're going into their bonus with a rifle and 2 really good guns. So, you know, this round isn't as impossible.
Yeah, definitely. And most of them are able to get full shields, which will be really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Just Eastern are just faced with such a challenge right now. CMU feeling like an unstoppable force.
And it looks like they're going to fully go A this time.
I like to see all this teamwork and util done. Unfortunately, Bannable getting separated.
And wow, there's just so much util on both sides, mostly benefiting Eastern.
Our spike carrier is killed. I have the spike.
And they're just getting picked off one by one.
Alexander's super good on the aggression there. He just was able to get so much value, especially with all of his teammates there. Just able to pick off Bannable and pick off more and more players here and there. Able to use his nade to essentially separate a lot of the CMU players so he could take a more favorable fight.
Yeah, definitely smart for Eastern to do that. And now with the numbers that they have, Central can only do so much.
There's no reason for Eastern to really do anything here, you know. Central's basically sitting ducks.
Yeah, and Eastern playing with such discipline, not really rushing out to do anything.
And you saw a lot of that control, especially on Haven. They would get one, get a few, and they would completely back off because they know there's no reason for them to do anything. Now I'm able to get one, but
30
it's just
seconds
30 seconds on the clock and nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Spike down.
And with the spike carrier killed, grabbing the spike even and being able to plant in the next 22 seconds is nearly impossible.
Practically is. Especially with that double up angle from Eastern. Span did all that he could, essentially.
Hopefully Central is able to keep this lead. They both run full buys, so it could be anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully seeing CMU come on top, especially with those head-to-head battles.
Yeah, definitely. And again, like, this is attack side. Like, attack is so much more beneficial in this map. They really need to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, they really need to be more willing to rotate there because they were still trying to go A even though they lost 3 of their players. When you rotate, Eastern loses all of the information they have on the players and where they're doing, what they're doing, and where they're going.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they need to take advantage of that and be able to do that in future rounds.
There.
It's very important, especially in Valorant, to have that info denial for the other team. Because they can't make any plays or strategies if they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
So much jump here.
And they are able to pick off one of Eastern's.
And they're able to escape that raise ult, but not the player itself.
Unfortunately, Gecko was taken out.
Central and Eastern trading players here. It is a 4v4.
Looks like they're going for A.
Yeah, you see Spad here on the lurk, hopefully able to get 1 or 2 to make it easier for Central to get this round.
But it looks like he's just not in the right spot.
You can see Eastern looking there, but he just comes out on top with that aim.
Yes. And that getting that extra player is so helpful. And then Beef is able to get another one.
You see those flicks?
And another one.
He's just playing his part super well, and it's a 3v1. Absolutely impossible for Eastern here.
Yeah.
You see CMU with the same discipline you saw earlier from last round from Eastern.
Yeah, definitely. And knowing that they need to just wait it out and stay.
Yeah, you see Eastern here, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He's gonna save his gun.
Yeah.
Just, he knows it's an impossible round. It's just not worth losing.
Definitely.
And there you go, you see CMU take another round.
Yes, and it's already 9-7. This is definitely getting close to match point. If Central can keep up this momentum and keep on winning, they could definitely make it to match point quite soon.
Yeah, and you see CMU very not super comfortable, but you see them comfortable in their economy right now. As you see Eastern being forced on a stinger, one of their players, and
Not full shields.
hopefully, you know, CMU has 2 ults this round, so you know how Lotus is such an attack-sided map. They have that Omen ult to be able to move from site to site super fast with the spike.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like they're gonna be more split up this round.
CMU retreating because they were spotted by that Gecko Dizzy.
Looks like they're heading more towards A now. Hopefully they're ready for Eastern to hit them head on.
You see Eastern having some angles that aren't as common right there.
There.
Hopefully they know he's there. Oh, and they are aware and they are able to pick him off.
Yeah, he was super weak from that initial raise grenade from Yame.
And just like that, there's only 2 members left for Eastern.
Yeah, and you see Central, they
remaining.
have 4 ults online for the next coming rounds.
That would be so beneficial to get them to the match point.
Little Go doing the best that he can, getting 2 there, but thankfully CMU able to close it out.
That was so well on Central Michigan. They were able to plan out each step and they were able to use their teamwork and their teammates to their advantage.
Yeah, and you see Eastern on another save again, so we could be looking at 11-7 and just CMU getting closer and closer to getting this map. You see with this save round, even though Eastern, they have diverted expectations a lot, being able to get guns and changing the round and changing the flow, but ideally CMU gets one here. They have 4 ults for the next incoming rounds to guarantee that win.
Yeah, and with a bye for Eastern, like, they don't even have to really use their ults here.
You see Eastern being so aggressive here, but thankfully Spad has some backup.
Yeah, and now Eastern's already down to 3 players, so this is already in Central Michigan's favor. They don't even need to really use their ults.
Yeah, thankfully they can save them for when it really counts, when Eastern's on the same level as them
One
economically.
enemy remaining.
Yeah.
Little Go, you've seen what you can do sometimes with the rifles.
But unfortunately, you can't do much. So, another win for Central.
Yeah, just super good teamwork there. You see 4 players alive.
Yeah.
And they were able, Spad was able to recover from being faced with 3 different Eastern members just because of the teamwork that he had.
Yeah, he was able to jump in, get that kill, and back out quite easily because of his team members.
Yeah, able to use the cage to his advantage and all of that. Thankfully, you know, CMU in the lead, and they've shaken up Eastern a bunch to be able to make them call a timeout once again.
Yeah. Luckily, though, Eastern realizing that they do need this timeout, hopefully they're able to regroup and come up with some better strats.
It is really interesting to see how close they are. You know, games aren't as fun when there's such a disadvantage, especially skill-wise, and you can see just these two really good teams just adapting and changing it up, and you can just see it in real time, especially with these rounds, especially after these timeouts.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully Central Michigan can keep up this momentum. It does look like they definitely can.
They're definitely, morale's super high for them, and they have all the utility in the world to make it happen.
Definitely.
You see Eastern going for a very interesting play here. You see them more stacked towards one side of the map.
There.
And fortunately, it is the right side of the map. So hopefully CMU comes on top with all of the ults that they have here. Fade ult super suppressive could get them low. You have the Gecko ult that can stop multiple clusters of players.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see this become match point after this.
Right there.
And it's definitely possible as long as Central gives their all here.
Yeah.
Plays it super well, plays it together.
And they definitely can do that. They definitely have the resources and the power to do it. So I really hope that we can see that from them.
I like to see, you see CMU across all different parts of the map. They're taking so much space. It's giving them so many options. We'd love to see that.
Yeah, and they're taking it slow, but in a good way. They're trying to get as much information as possible.
Hopefully Jay getting this contact here, but not able to win the fight.
But now Bannable knowing where some of them are.
Brad not able to get any value off of his lurk as he has in the past.
This might be a harder round for Central, especially now that they're one player down.
Both teams kind of at a standstill, just like exchanging shots here and there.
Yeah. Nobody's really moving. And there's only 32 seconds left.
30
to put up
seconds
this
left.
fight.
And Spad's all alone with the spike, and there's just not much he can do. Thankfully, Bannable getting one, but what does that do for the round? They still haven't taken any sight.
And they only have 19 seconds now. It's getting close and down to the wire. Can he get to see sight in time?
There's just so little time.
10 seconds left.
10, 9, 8. Will he be able to plant in time?
He
Is the
does have
question.
enough time, but a little bit nerve-wracking.
Oh, and he's able to plant with just 1 second to spare, really.
Thankfully, you see CMU able to equalize the numbers. And it's a lot more fair of a fight, and you can see Eastern running from this race. Oh, they do not want to be caught up in that.
Which is quite smart of them, running away from that ult.
But it does question, you know, they are giving up a lot of the time. Unfortunately, that grenade not hitting. But Bannable still able to get one in that scenario. Able to turn around, get the ace!
That was amazing. Bannable getting an ace on this round.
An ace for match point? You know, that probably means a lot to him.
Yeah. Bannable has been coming out with some amazing shots, so seeing him be able to do that is quite incredible.
And this round could practically be Central's as long as they use those ults well, because they still have 3 ults. They only used 1 last round. Because of how well their teamwork and their util was used, they were just able to come out on top and barely investing anything. And you see Eastern, they almost all have light shields, so it's so close yet so far.
I definitely think Central can have this in the bag as long as they keep up this teamwork.
You see them a little bit more confident now. They're pushing.
Yeah.
Yami
Oh, and
able to
Yami
get
able to
one
get that
through
through the smoke.
Fortunately, Alexander getting 3.
So many ults being used. Oh, and Eastern's able to come out on top. That was crazy.
Fortunately, just their defense was a little bit better with that crossfire.
There's just so much happening at once. I couldn't even keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, CMU, once again, just like Haven, they have a lot of margin of error. They can make those mistakes. Eastern can't really afford that. They have to put their all into every single round, and as a result, they only have 1 ult here.
Definitely. And both on full buys. This could be anybody's game.
Unfortunately, that was such an easier round than now for CMU to win, but the stars just didn't align there.
Yeah. But hopefully Central can keep up that morale and keep coming at them.
Very strong A defense here. Playing high-low.
Just getting picked off, though.
There's not much this team can do here. Really needs this pick. Thankfully, Spad getting it.
Good. Yeah, we definitely needed that.
Hopefully they can pinch the player on C before the rest of the cavalry comes.
Definitely. It's going to be a lot harder for them to plant with these numbers. With only 3 of them, it's really hard to keep their defenses up. And now only 2.
And you see the spike all alone there.
And they're so spread out.
Just CMU, so little time, so little space, not much.
And they're choosing to stay separate. Gecko's just going in alone.
There's just 30 seconds on the
30
clock. They
seconds
need
left.
to do something.
Last
They're
player
doing
standing.
super well, but
And just
Bannable-
like that, it's only Jay left.
Bannable just not expecting anyone to be there, and he is forced to play games.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
He's
getting
just getting
spammed.
Yeah, he's getting hit with so much util.
One enemy.
Luckily, he is able to use Wingman to
And
plant.
he's able to
Oh!
and able to take the map for CMU.
Wow, that was amazing. And what an amazing win by them. He's able to pick off both of them. What an amazing comeback in that round.
Yeah, if you didn't have Wingman there, it would have been so much closer, practically, maybe even impossible to get both players there. But thankfully, because he was on Gecko, that's why Gecko is such a good pick here. You know, they were able to get that, and they were able to take that win.
Yes, it was amazing to see them in this final map. I'm so glad that we got to go to Lotus. We got to see so much more teamwork on this map.
And we got to see them adapt. We got to see them play it differently. Lotus, a little spotty for us here and there, but we were able to come out on top even with such a good opponent.
Yeah, it was just amazing. And now, officially, Central is 3 wins, 2 losses, which means that they have more wins now.
Yeah, so that's super great to have now, and hopefully they use that momentum for the next games, and hopefully because they're more confident on Haven and Lotus, they're able to use that because they do play those maps quite a lot. You saw them, they ban almost every single map, and it does come down to Haven and Lotus and usually one other map, so you see they can finally play those 3-site maps super well, especially on defense.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, they are just doing so well on Lotus. I hope that they can keep up that momentum in future games.
Yeah, and they obviously they didn't really care that this map or that map was attack side, and they were able to just come out on top with all their util, all their teamwork, and hopefully we get to see that next week.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what they have in the future. And thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.
Yeah, bye.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down A. 30 seconds left.
Dropped.
One enemy remaining.
Here they are. Catch them.
Wingman's on defuse.
Last player standing.
Easy tonight.
One enemy remaining. Three remaining.
Yeah, my ultimate is ready.
Still waiting. Catch them.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Nightmare's over.
One enemy remaining.